everybody, and welcome in. I'm Mark McLean. No, this is not a shave of the day, nor is it an EDC of the day. Today I'm going to be cleaning my Norseman knife, and you can even see the filth that's on the blade. I mean, it's I use this knife a lot, and I cut everything with it. Yesterday we were grilling out, and obviously I cut a lot of crap. I did check. I remember using it to check on the burgers. We had some ground chuck. I cut on the burgers and to check to see the color content. I did the same on some brats just to see. And I also use it while I use it to eat with. I mean, believe it or not, and that's when it's in a cleaner state than this. I use it to eat with, but later on, I think I ended up cutting a bunch more crap in the evening, which is obvious, and it's got build up around the thumb stud too. So this that you see on the blade is nothing in comparison to what is inside right here. I mean, filthy. And you can't, well, you can get a small glimpse right there, perhaps. Just a little bit. And these barrel roller spacers, looks like they have a lot of caked up build up right there. I'll try and focus on that. And we're going to go inside the knife and check it out. Now, according to Eric and John Grimsmo, the makers of the knife, they tell you how to take it apart, and that's okay. If you want to do it, take it apart. But I'm not wanting to take mine apart. I don't want to take it apart because on too many occasions I've taken knives apart, and when I put them back together, the blade doesn't always line up the same. And I don't want to ruin a valuable knife like this, or even take the chance of messing it up, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to just clean it and leave it put together. Some of the cleaning materials that will be needed. Number one, I'm using liquid wrench. This stuff is better, in my opinion, than WD-40. The reason being, well, it's I've told you before, I think in another video, it's not as noxious. The scent is not as bad, doesn't choke you down or make you pass out, which is good. Also, the viscosity, I like that. And it's not that much of a difference compared to WD-40, but there is a slight difference in the viscosity. That's something or the slickness factor. That's what I noticed, and I like that. Perhaps that's due to the fact that this is a Teflon coated spray. So maybe that's the reason I did feel a difference in consistency, is because of the fact that it was, this is a Teflon coated spray, and I was feeling that Teflon coating. WD-40 does not have Teflon. Plus, WD-40 is flammable. You can light a torch and it'll just light. If you spray it and light a lighter, it'll just spray. This is not that way. Liquid wrench doesn't do that. And I sort of like the scent of this because of the Teflon aspect. Well, they call it Surflon. That's their own brand of Teflon. Surflon. Designed with Surflon. Ceramically reinforced. PTFE. Yeah, that's what it says right there. Ceramically reinforced. Surflon. Surflon. Funny. I have to have some Q-tips. It may be a good idea to grab some toothpicks too. And I'm going to be using a replacement lubricant, which is what John Grimsmo told me to use. He suggested I use Tough Glide, and that's what I'm using. I have Tough Glide inside this Frog Lube bottle. The reason I'm not using Frog Lube is because it also attracts dust and lint. It does a great job, and it's excellent for protecting. And in fact, it's a CLP, which stands for Cleans, Lubricates, and Protects. It's a CLP liquid. So that is a good thing, that it does protect. And it protects well. In fact, it's maintained me not having any knives that that are rusted because of that. Want to see what happens when you don't maintain your knives? That is deep pitting where it was rusted. Yeah, this knife was nice at one time. And then we had a leak in the upstairs bathroom, and this knife was packed up downstairs in the closet. It was a slow leak and we didn't know about it. Well, it actually pitted the steel. It is that is pitted. It's not just rust on the top there. This would have to be put in a grinder of some sort and taken down. But anyway, I don't think I had it properly coated in the first place. So, you know, hindsight is 20/20, like they say. So, if you'd like to see what's inside my Norseman before we clean it, I'm going to give you a view right now as we go inside the Norseman to see a little bit closer of the filth I've been talking about. Hey guys, I want to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about when I say that my Norseman is completely filthy, and I'm almost ashamed to show you guys this, but I'm going to zoom a little bit here and try and direct the light beam straight into my knife, if at all possible. I need 4 more hands if anyone wants to come and volunteer. All right, got this located exactly where I want it. Now if I can get the camera to look down in there. Okay, I think right there, maybe you can see. It's not focusing for some reason. But there, that's a little bit, excuse me, a little bit of what I'm talking about. Not only is that pocket lint and dirt, but it's also obviously crumbs. It seems like there's some crumbs there. Oh man, I can't believe it's so filthy, really. I'm going to hold the beam right on the light, right on the knife right now, and try and focus if at all possible. There you can see. All right, there's the Norseman's face that's carved inside the helmet, the Spartan guy. One of the screw holes right there. Now look on the far end. See the big hunks of lint and dirt? Just filthy. I mean, it's filthy. See that? It's all kinds of built up residue and crap. That's amazing. I had no idea it was this filthy. I knew it was dirty, and I said filthy, but my terminology, or what I deemed as being filthy, was nothing in comparison to what it is. Oh, even on the back spacer at the very back end,
There's a big bunch of build up there too. Wow.
Wow, that was some filth, I'll say. Okay, I've got some Q-tips here. This is a dental floss cleaner that helps you get around the thumb stud. I use that for that purpose. Also, it helps to get inside the pivot area too. Just a little bit of something to help you clean. And that's all you need, unless you want to get some actual dental floss itself. So that's very handy too. Okay, right now I'm going to spray it down just to get this level of gunk off the blade. I don't want it on there any longer, so just let that permeate a little of the crap that's on there. Wow, it's crusty and hard. I think I need to permeate a little more. I can't believe that. It's really set up. And I thought I'd wiped it down. What's weird is I thought I had. I really honestly did. But I hadn't. So I'm just letting it sit a bit. In the meantime, we'll take a short break while this sits. I don't want to bore you guys, and we'll be right back. Well, that didn't take too long. I found out that it was really crusty, so instead of having to wait until that liquid wrench permeated the levels of crustaceans that had built up, I went ahead and took it to the kitchen, and this is easy enough for anyone to do. Take it to the kitchen sink. I put some warm water with Dawn dishwashing liquid on this paper towel, and I just began wiping it down. And that's really all anybody has to do. I mean, it's not rocket science. Greg Medford actually shows his Praetorian knives being taken apart, but he also shows cleaning them in the sink with just warm water and soap, and actually washing it down inside, and then drying it thoroughly, of course. You can even use a hair dryer if that's what you need. Now, I have taken this and I used it to get around this thumb stud. It really got all of the crap out of there, and I'd forgotten I had sliced some cake as well, and that was what was stuck inside the thumb stud area. So this dental floss pick was capable of getting that out perfectly. So now that the blade has been pretty much cleaned in comparison to what it was, I noticed there's still a lot of crap inside there in the pivot area of the front bolster vicinity, as well as inside that you saw a moment ago. So what we're going to do now is we're going to spray liquid wrench right inside that area, the pivot area. Now keep in mind, this particular knife does have ball bearings, so we don't want to damage those, and we don't want to touch those if at all possible. So I'm going to use just standard non-waxed dental floss. It's not good to use the wax type, so keep that in mind. All I'm doing is pressing down on the top of the blade, just on the top of the blade, just so I'll be able to pull any dirt particles out if they're there. Now, you may not see a lot come out here, and that's okay, as long as we get it where we need it. We're actually pushing that liquid wrench up inside there too, just to help clean that out. We will also turn on some force on the liquid wrench and spray it really good to make sure that all of this stuff that we're getting out right now, which I see a bunch rolling out, it'll make sure that that is blown out in force now that it's had the chance to, I guess, permeate again, like I said earlier. So now that we've done that, now I'm going to shake the can up and just spray it really hard. just force it down. Even a can of computer air works great at this too, but I like to use some type of liquid because I know it's going to go inside there and do the cleaning that I need it to do. But I prefer using, like I said a moment ago, liquid wrench compared to anything else. So that has got the pivot area cleaned. We'll open it and see, just to make sure. But listen, could you hear that squeak? It's working those little pieces of sand or dirt out. You can actually hear them grinding a bit before. So now that we've had the chance to work it out really good, I'm going to spray it again at a high velocity. And all of the junk is coming out underneath this knife onto the rag below, which is awesome. But now it's not squeaking at all. It's perfect, clean. Yeah, great. And it's restored to its buttery smooth state. See how that just closed so easily? I mean, watch this. I'll show you. Amazing, huh? Okay. Now to the dirty part. Now that the pivot area is taken care of, now we have to go inside and get the crap out of there. Excuse me, I have a little congestion today. I'm going to go ahead and spray the inside of this, and I want it to permeate, so I'm going to do a slow spray, one that's bubbly and coating, and just fill it up all on the inside. See there? I'm just filling it up. And it's filled. It doesn't take long either. And after that, just work the Q-tip back and forth. I'm doing the top part right now. And then when you get to the the lock bar, go ahead and unlock it so it will spread open and give you a little space to clean. And we're just cleaning the front top part. And it's really filthy. Can you see that? I hope so. There you go. You can see it now. Focused a bit there. Yeah, and it's a bunch of junk right there. Now, as you saw earlier, when I got the camera to view down deep inside the knife, a large majority of the gunk that was inside there was not up in this top part. It was all down in the back lower part around the barrel spacers, or the back spacers, the barrel style back spacers. So we will go ahead and try this side now. That's where a large majority of the junk is. Oh wow. And it's getting it out too. Opening up the lock bar again just so I can have more room up into the top part. I really couldn't believe it got so filthy. One thing about this, since it is a Teflon coated spray, the good thing I think about it is after you get it clean, and it is titanium, it starts squeaking. Listen. It's squeaky clean now, so that's how you can tell. Perfect. All right. Checking the status of the pivot again, and it's perfectly smooth. I don't want it to have a piece of small filth fall down into it while I was cleaning it, so that could happen. This is what I'm using, by the way. This is the Sentry brand Tough Glide. I buy it in the large economy size, and then I put it into the little small spray bottle in which you saw earlier, this frog lube bottle. It works, for me at least. You do what works for you, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to pull apart the lock bar just a bit and remove that cap out of the way and the Q-tips. And I'm just going to spray it and put a copious amount inside the pivot area. It will run inside, coating and replacing the liquid wrench. It will coat the ball bearings as well. Okay. Perfect. Wow. And I also want this inside coated too, so I just have to do the same thing with it all the way up and down through the inside of the lock bar area and the scales, titanium scales. And that is it, my friends. Now seriously, that wasn't very difficult, was it? I mean, really, that was quite simple, actually. So, what have we got? This is what we've got. Buttery smooth. Wow. I like it. No little crusty sounds either. Before it was going. Now it's buttery smooth again. Perfect. And that's how I clean my Norseman knife. I will spray down the blade a little bit and clean it a little more, just to make sure that it's good and clean after the gunk that it had earlier. Then I just spread it a little bit. Don't want to cut myself. You have to be careful around the edge, so go away from the edge when you're rubbing it, of course. And that's it. My Norseman from Grimsmo Knives, John and Eric Grimsmo of Ontario, Canada. Good guys that make a hell of a knife. There's my little Spartan guy. Oh, and this, my friends, is something else I got to show you guys. I hadn't planned on showing you this, but okay, here goes. This is my Spartan helmet. The inside is loose, and someone had broken this at the store where it was, and it was really expensively priced, around 50 bucks or so. And they broke it, and they messed it up. Being idiots, playing with it, I guess, and they stole the stand that it sits on. So, I thought, well, what the heck? It's not going to do them any good. And I bought it off the manager for 10 bucks. So I have something for the man cave. Thank you guys for watching. Shave of the day, okay? All right. Welcome in, guys, the shave of the day.